So maybe the public just likes politics like their movies. Hard-hitting, should we all just lighten up and enjoy the show? Come on.
Do you know what? It gets your attention. Think about it. When you're putting on your makeup and getting ready for work or whatnot, you're looking up and you're seeing all these pranks going on. You look at it, and it's Jackass 3D.
Are you talking about Jackass?
Yeah, we're talking about Jackass 3D. Well, you know what? And good point. Glad you brought it up, because when you look at some of these...
That's my job, is to set you up.
You didn't do it.
I'm the Luke Costello of the...
Think about it. When you're looking at some negative ad and you hear eerie music and like the Taliban Dan and all these odd commercials going on, you're going to look up and you're going to pay attention. Negative ads work. Whether we vote accordingly, who knows? But they do work, and you do pay attention to them.
They help suppress the vote, and they create a certain amount of cynicism. And, you know, at this time, really the thing that should be getting people's attention is that we have 9.6% unemployment, and we have we're bailing out banks and corporations. There's a lot of issues.
Don't you think the ads are sort of like the commercials in the Super Bowl? I mean, you really just kind of get through the season, so you can,
See, this is another gender thing. We actually watch for the game.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. There is a football game there, too.
Well, my question is, are these ads actually helping you understand the candidate, or are they helping you bash the other guy, whether right or left?
They're not helping at all. I mean, who wants to watch a boring commercial but saying,
that becomes...
I'm going to do something very odd. I was in that game. We put up ads that I was proud of. Sometimes we would call them contrast ads, and other people would call them negative. The point is, you're trying to explain to people, we stand here, they stand here. If you stand here, you don't like it, you call it negative. Sometimes they are informational and they are critical without being negative. And I think they don't need to be acerbic, mean, or nasty, but they are contrast ads, and that's
some
important.
of them borderline hokey. Just like with the Aqua Buddha, with the silliness on that. I mean, come on.
Do we have the
I just want to say,
that's going to be very effective.
I splashed on a little Aqua Buddha before I came over here this evening.
I knew I
You're commenting on
I love Aqua Buddha.
But I'm not sure the level of political discourse today is any worse than it was 150 years ago. And I think we live with this illusion that, back in the day, everybody was sitting around reading the Lincoln Douglas debates.
It is.
I don't think that
It
works.
is
snarkier.
It's a lot worse because we have the social media network. We have a lot of Google, the search engines that come up. I mean, think about all these commercials that can stay with you for a long time.
I just think it's more broadly distributed, but I don't think the level of discourse is any lower or higher than it ever has been.
Andrew
I don't know if you all were aware, but Elliot was a politician.
What?
No. I pretended.
He wasn't contrast ads, and contrast ad, that's such a euphemism.
We never did a negative ad that went attack somebody. We would say, look, they believe in X, we believe in Y, and that, I think, is a fair and important thing to do.
Do you think those ads, do you think they help or hurt the person who's I mean, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder, because sometimes I see these ads and I just think, oh, please, how can this possibly appeal to someone?
But you know why they do negative ads? It's not only because people watch it, it's because the media pay attention to it.
Right.
There's a professor, John Gear at Vanderbilt University, who wrote a whole book about this, and he said the reason negative campaigns can persist is because the media latch onto the negative campaigns and talk about the ads and talk about them.
It gives you free media.
Exactly.
Last comment on this before we move on, but clearly the best ads are the ones that paint a portrait of what the candidate believes in and say, here's my answer to a pressing social problem, and here's what we're going to do about it. Clearly those are the best, but not everybody can put those on the air. But Christine O'Donnell's going to be a celebrity after this, right?
I knew you would find a little
she is like mini-me to Sarah Palin, unless I'm missing something here.
She has a lot of likeness to Sarah Palin.
Same constitutional understanding.
She hasn't quit yet, though. She's got to quit something first.
See? All you guys against
that
me.
one slid right out there, but
I didn't catch it. I caught it.
Do you think the Tea Party ought to separate itself from certain individuals, though? I mean, don't you think it's hard?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, when you
You sound defensive about that.
for example, I mean, no.
Help me, somebody.
I don't want to pick on Christine O'Donnell, but she's irresistible. Come on, I mean, the
Christine O'Donnell's not
So what about the
odious.
Tea
Christine
Party?
O'Donnell's not
But
bad.
I do think that the Tea Party has elevated a lot of candidates. I mean, look what's happening. Look at Engel and Reed. I mean, never before would you have seen this, and I think it's phenomenal.
But is that a good thing?
But think about it.
For credibility's
You all
sake,
don't look like
shouldn't
Latinos to me.
certain
That's
people just be
what we want.
I didn't
marginalized?
say that I thought that gaff was fantastic. I didn't say that.
I thought it was a fantastic game.
But the fact of the matter is, Harry Reid was in trouble. Was going to face a tougher election, no matter who ran against him.
A lot of things that we're facing, that people are voting against someone because they are mad at him. Like in Harry Reid, they don't like Harry Reid.
I don't think they're voting
so they're
against individuals. I think they're voting venting against the situation that exists right now.
And
that's why.
What's the situation? I mean, there are a lot of situations. Which situation are you talking about?
The economy. I think
you're talking about the president.
jobs.
You're talking about what he represents.
At the end of the day, if the unemployment rate was at 8% and dropping right now, we wouldn't be having any of these conversations.
I agree with you totally. Having said that, I'm going to defend the Tea Party as just grassroots democracy. We're complaining about ads. We're complaining about the lack of discourse.
Democracy.
No,
you're the one who can't stop talking about the mouths of a fully functioning human brain.
I can't stand. It's too much. Look, John, I can't stand their politics. I can't stand what they stand for. But you know what? It is real citizen action. You got to love that. That's what politics is.
It's also backed by $75 million worth of corporate
politics.
Elliot, in
has always had money behind
1966, we had that real action, too, because you had Title IV, and it was about open housing, and all of a sudden it became about, this is not what we want. That was the grassroots movement then. If President Obama wasn't president, would the Tea Party exist?
No, I'm not talking about the substance behind it.
They formed because they were mad about the policies of the administration. They have a right to be.
When Medicare Part D came through, they weren't proud. They have a right to be mad. But they weren't mad when all of these other things came through. One thing changed. There was a stimulus in 2008. Nobody had a problem with George Bush's stimulus in 2008. They had no problem with Medicare Part D. They had no problem with anything. It's not about, there are tons of things that we could agree on. I happen to like Christine O'Donnell.
I think George Clooney would be a fabulous king.
That would be an interesting. If you had your own political party, what would be your 5-word platform?
Buy one, get one free. How about that? You get 2 for 1, 2 Republicans for 1. I need all the Republicans, even if they were a figment of my imagination at this table.
That's sort of what Sarah Palin and Christine O'Donnell is sort of like one of those.
Buy one, get one free. Thanks to all of you for joining us.